What's going on, guys? Byron here from ETA. We're here to talk about tripods. Specifically, this is the Ulanzi MT29 compact carbon fiber tripod. Now this comes as an assembly, okay? The MT29 part number is if you're buying the ball head and the tripod. You can order, if you just want the tripod itself without the ball head, you can order MT29. And if you want the ball head, you can order Uniform 120, U-120. Those are the Ulanzi part numbers. Well, let's get after it. Up until recently, I've been using this. This is your standard cam lock tripod. I've had this thing for coming up on 11 years now. And I don't really care for it, but every time I have to go out to the field, I want a tripod I can set up and just, I don't care if I break it. It's got a simple cam lock, so one lever cam lock. I've smashed my fingers in this thing. I've had this thing where it hasn't locked in properly and it's almost released with the camera in it, and I need something that's more secure and a little bit easier to work with. So this tripod uses the Arca-Swiss system. This is an Arca-Swiss plate, and what I like about the Ulanzi plate, it's got a reference machine mark right here. I'm sorry, that's not a machine mark, it's actually a mechanical stop. So when you install this onto the camera, it keeps everything square. So you always know that it is perfectly straight. Now, if you have some kind of a weird offset with your lens, maybe you need a little bit more forward or a little bit backwards. If you're balancing it on a gimbal and you need to adjust it a little bit to center it up, you can do that very easily with an Arca-Swiss plate. It gives you a lot of flexibility. And we're going to talk about that. So, as you can see, it doesn't require a lot of force to lock this down, by the way. These two stops here, these two little screws here, you can remove them or you can leave them in place. If you leave them in place, they act as a secondary mechanical safety to prevent camera loss. How cool is that? So let's talk about the ball head. This is the ball head. This is my broken hand. I want to show you this because it doesn't take a lot of force. You don't have to have this super tight at all. You can adjust it to any position you want. This is what's called a reverse ball head type, meaning the ball head is at the base instead of at the top. And check out that machine work, guys. It's gorgeous. This little shiny red lever right here, this is what controls your pan. See that? Pretty cool, huh? There are white markings that go around the base here. Hopefully that will show up in the focus. Yes, there it is. Okay, so those marks can be used as a visual indicator, so you know if you're planning your shot, you know you're going to start at 120 degrees and you're going to stop at 45 degrees. So if you've got like an action shot where you know you're going to be panning, you can get a nice, slow, smooth, controlled pan. And when I mount this all onto the A7C, I'm going to actually demonstrate what it looks like. It also features a cold shoe. So this right here is a cold shoe. And let's say you've got a shotgun microphone or a light that you want to mount and you don't want to throw it up on top of your camera, right? There you go. Just that easy. So let's talk about the tripod. Oh, and just very quickly, it comes with 3 hex keys, so you can do all of the servicing on this tripod yourself. You don't have to send it anywhere. None of this is special hardware, guys. This is all, you know, your standard, like your M4, your M3 metric hardware, and it's all very easy to find. So if you do strip a screw out, don't freak out, man. Just go get a new one. Go to Ace Hardware. Chances are, if you're researching and you're watching this video, you've seen some of the other videos about this particular tripod. Well, I want to go over some of the features that nobody else has mentioned about this tripod, and I feel like it's really kind of a key thing. So the tripod legs are extendable, and I just want to show you what's really cool. This is a threaded mechanical lock, meaning if it was a friction lock, you could lock it at any point along this path. You can't do that. So one of the limitations of this tripod is it's either this long or it's this long. But when it's locked in place in the extended position, it is very firmly locked. I just want to show you that. You can see that nice little detail there. See that? Isn't that pretty? That's pretty. So we're going to very quickly set this ball head up on the tripod, because I want to show you, if you're on the go and you're run and gun photography, it sets up this quick. And we're going to go through all 4 positions. I'm going to take the measurements in both centimeters and inches. So here we go. I'm setting this up so I can use my left hand with it, just because it's a lot easier to mess with. And real quick, we're just going to hit on this. I mentioned the safety. So let's say you've got it in and mounted, but it's not maybe the tightest. Look at this. It's not coming out of there. When it's in, it's in. All right? And it doesn't take a lot of force to tighten this. It really doesn't. I'll go ahead and level it out a little. All right, there we go. So now, this is the lowest position. We'll call this position 1. Where would you use this position? If you're shooting in the field, you want to get a nice low shot, or maybe you've got like a concrete wall or something you want to set your camera up on, but you don't want to put your camera directly onto the ground. This would be a very good position for that. Also, if you don't have a really long lens, this would be a pretty good stable mount. This is not going to go anywhere. Even if the wind blows it around a little bit, you're not going to tip your camera over. So I'm going to give you 2 different sets of measurements here in both ASE and in metric. And I'm going to give you the measurements if you were shooting without the ball head and with the ball head. So in this current position, we're about 2.5 inches without the ball head. And we are at just a hair over 5 inches. I'm sorry. Yeah, just about 5 inches with the ball head and the camera plate mounted. And in metric, that is 5.5 centimeters without the ball head, and that is about 13 centimeters with the ball head. This is position 1. Now we're moving to position 2. All right, so now we're in position number 2. In this position, without the ball head, you're right about the 3-inch mark, and that is 8 centimeters. And with the ball head, to the base of the plate, you're at about 6 inches. And I say about, not exactly. You are at about 15 centimeters in this position. Next, you rotate this knob right here, this machine little nub, and you have the 3rd position. This is the tallest locked out secure position. You can make it a little taller if you need to, especially if you've got a lightweight camera, but if you want it as secure as possible, this is it. Take a look at that. There is not a lot of flex here, guys. I'm putting probably 15 pounds of force, which is double what it's rated. Now, to the bottom, directly to the 1/4 20 mount plate, where it's 7.5 inches or 19 centimeters. With the ball head, you are at 10 inches or 26 centimeters. So you got a nice reach if you're looking to shoot just a little bit of a downward angle. There you go. Very simple to use this tripod. The other thing I just want to note is if you take a look at this tripod, if you're going to do an interview or something like that, this looks really impressive. I know it's a little bit vain. This is position number 4, and this is where, in my mind, I'm going to be using it probably 90% of the time right here. And I think most of you guys at home are going to be doing the same. Let's go ahead and knock this measurement out. We're at just a hair under 5 inches tall. Just a hair. I'd say 4 3/4. In centimeters, that's 12 centimeters. And with the ball head attached, we're at just under 7.5 inches tall or 19 centimeters. Okay? This is just ballpark measurement. I mean, I'm not trying to be super precise with it. But you guys can see, you get a feel for it. That's it. Now, one detriment to the Arca Swiss style, at least this particular style, if you have it on the bottom of your camera, your camera's not going to sit level and flush. So, while this is affixed, if you set your camera down for any reason, put it into the tripod. And if you have one of the cool, like the Peak design, or Ulanzi's coming out with one where it clicks onto your strap, so you have an Arca Swiss mount that goes onto a strap, you can just click it in and click it off if you're wearing a camera bag, just for quick access. So we're going to go ahead and change everything up. We're going to put you onto the A7C, and we'll be back. And we're back. So this is what it looks like when you have the legs fully extended and you're on 17 millimeters. Okay? It's very easy. It's very maneuverable. The ball head weighs 5.6 ounces and the tripod weighs 5.6 ounces. That's about 159 grams, give or take. So now we're going to show you what it looks like on the short setting. There you go. Now granted, just bear this in mind for perspective. I'm 6'4", so I've got some pretty long arms. But even if you got a little baby T-Rex arm, here you go. So if you're in a situation where you need to do a quick little pan between two subjects, or you're tracking a live object, just look at how smooth that is. This is me pushing the camera with my broke hand, so I'm not as smooth as I can be. I'm going to spin you back around to me. And we're just going to make a quick adjustment. Look at that. Just that quick, you can set this thing up, use it as you need to, get the angles you want, make any adjustments you want. Not even a quarter of a turn and you're locked in place. This will support 3 kilos. That's about 6.6 pounds for my fellow Americans. That's a pretty good size camera, dude. This will hold up an EOS. This will hold up the Mark V. This will hold up a lot of stuff. Okay. In my opinion, this is the perfect desktop tripod. The other thing I really like about it is the appearance of it. If you pull this tripod out during an interview, I think personally, and again, this is just a vanity thing, but I think it looks very professional. And that's what you're going for when you're doing an interview, right? So this is Byron. Y'all have a great rest of your day. I'm going to keep playing with my tripod.